The release of the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 series has some great benefits for gamers, delivering performance around 3080 levels at a lower price than that, with improved power efficiency, and we're introducing our new MSI GeForce RTX 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB in this episode. Today we'll do some benchmarks in a few games between the RTX 4070 and the 3080, and go over some features of DLSS 3 which are only available on the RTX 40 series cards. And please take a moment to subscribe to MSI Gaming for the latest news and tutorials. New for the RTX 40 series, NVIDIA's Ada Lovelace architecture has new streaming multiprocessors for up to 2 times the performance and power efficiency. 4th gen Tensor cores do up to 4 times the performance with DLSS 3, another technical advancement over last gen, and with NVIDIA Reflex, can deliver higher FPS with lower latency. 3rd gen RT cores give up to 2 times the performance in ray tracing. The 4070 is based on the AD104 chipset with 5888 CUDA cores. The base clock is 1920 MHz with a boost to 2475, much faster than all 3 last-gen cards. Up from last gen's 3070 with 8GB GDDR6 non-X, the RTX 4070 is now at 12GB of GDDR6X, and memory speed goes up to 21 gigabits per second. Both are also higher than the 3080. The board power is just 200 watts for the 4070, which is almost tied for performance with the 3080, a 320 watt card. If you're upgrading, the MSI GeForce RTX 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB is a 2-slot height card measuring 308mm long by 120 wide and 43 high. Power connects with one 8-pin PCIe power connection, so it's a very easy upgrade. If your PC case is shorter, the MSI GeForce RTX 4070 Ventus 2X 12GB is just 242 long by 125 wide and the same 43mm height, and both the Ventus 3X and 2X have OC versions which are tuned for a little boost. For our test bench, we used an Intel i9-12900K on an MSI MEG Z690 Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4 with an MSI MEG Core Liquid S360 EIO for cooling. For memory, there's 64 gigs in 2 sticks of G.Skill DDR4 3600, and the system drive is an MSI Spatium M480 PCIe Gen 4 2TB NVMe M.2 SSD, powered by an MSI MEG AI 1300P power supply. Is the MSI RTX 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB the best value for 1440p gaming? Let's look at some game benchmarks versus an RTX 3080 in Windows 11. Cyberpunk 2077 is a very demanding title at ultra settings, even for higher-end RTX 40 series cards. And at 1440p with ray tracing on, the RTX 4070 posts 33 FPS average next to the 3080's 36 FPS. Enabling DLSS 3 on the RTX 4070 sees generated frames pushing 110 FPS versus the 3080's 63 FPS average with last-gen DLSS turned on. This is a 3.3 times improvement over just RT and 75% better than last-gen DLSS. F122 is a game known for delivering very high FPS with the right settings, but we're taxing it with 1440p ultra settings with ray tracing turned on. Here we're seeing 81 FPS versus the 3080's 70 FPS average for a 16% lead. Turning on DLSS 3 on the 4070 gets 241 FPS average versus 154 FPS for the 3080 with DLSS and its generated frames for a 56% overall boost in frame rate. Last up, we're testing Hogwarts Legacy at 1440p with ray tracing on, and the RTX 4070 posts 63 FPS, just a hair over the 62 FPS average from the 3080. With DLSS 3 enabled on the 4070, it's getting 100 FPS with added frames compared to 88 from the 3080's previous DLSS implementation for a 13.6% boost between DLSS generations. For power consumption, Tech PowerUp shows 206 watts for the RTX 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB in gaming, 46% more efficient than the 3070 Ti at 302 watts. And the RTX 3080 10GB draws 336 watts, so it's 63% more efficient with nearly matching performance. Over the same tier last-gen RTX 3070 at 232 watts, it's still 12% less, amazing as it delivers about 40% more performance. Note the minimum recommended power supply should be 550 watts. TechSpot did an analysis of cost per frame for a 13-game average at 1440p, and we're seeing the RTX 4070 at a $599 MSRP to be the best value RTX 40 series card this generation at a price of $476. It beats the 3080, which gets $578, the 3070 Ti with $588, and the same tier last gen 3070 at $520 for value. Let's touch on Deep Learning Super Sampling 3, and the RTX 4070 has an 18-game average of a 1.4 times improvement over the 3080's DLSS, and a 1.8 times gain over the last gen 3070. DLSS uses AI to upscale lower resolution rendered frames, making them appear like native level sharpness, and lower resolutions are easier on the GPU, so games run faster. The anti-aliasing of DLSS tends to be sharper than other methods like TAA or MSAA, which all work to remove jagged edges. AI frame generation inserts predictive frames between rendered frames for smoother, higher frame rates. For the RTX 40 series, after activating DLSS upscaling, turning on frame generation also turns on NVIDIA Reflex, which reduces whole system latency, and there's an additional boost option. Our MSI GeForce RTX 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB has won the Tech PowerUp's Editor's Choice Award and a Tweaktown Must-Have Award too. The RTX 4070 almost matches the performance of the 3080 while being 63% more power efficient according to testing by Tech PowerUp, with an MSRP of $599. With the lowest cost per frame of the 40 series, it really is the best value for 1440p gaming. And gamers get the latest DLSS 3 support, which sees a good to dramatic boost over last gen DLSS, raising frame rates in-game. Whether you grab a 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB or the shorter 4070 Ventus 2X 12GB, you'll get a graphics card perfect for 1440p gaming. If you're looking to upgrade, jumping to a higher tier 40 series or a 4070 Ventus 3X 12GB may be a good choice for you, and please visit the MSI website to see our lineup of NVIDIA 40 series cards with their information and specs. Hopefully this guide helped you. Please give us a like and subscribe to MSI Gaming for the latest news. Thanks for joining us today, and have fun gaming. See you next time.